Hi, it's Sarah from Wild Rose Path, and today I just wanted to talk about the invisibility of becoming. And I've made a few videos recently on this concept of like becoming after loss, so moving into midlife without that like one person who really saw you, who really got you, who really witnessed you. Quite a few videos have been about that, but this is kind of more a universal theme of midlife, I think, this kind of invisibility in becoming. You know, when you're changing, who you are is changing, whether you look at it from the point of view that you're becoming an entirely new person, or whether you look at it from the point of view that you are reclaiming parts of yourself that have been like buried or lost, or maybe a bit of both. It's kind of universal in that becoming that some people don't see us, and these can be people as well that may have seen us before. So it's like as we're stepping into our identity at midlife, we're becoming this new version of ourselves, and it can be, because it's such a process, it can be incredibly subtle as well, and you get people around you, like friends and family, who may not notice from the outside yet that anything has changed, but within you, within your inner world, you know something has shifted. Sometimes we don't necessarily even have the words to articulate what that shift is, and that's kind of those times that it really can grate on you the most, that when you don't have the words for this shift and nobody around you is kind of picking it up because it's so subtle. And then we can just kind of start to feel this like invisibility. You might find that like people who really, you know, you gelled with before, people who were kind of on your wavelength, who really got you, just suddenly start like drifting away or dropping off. Relationships kind of fade out or seem to just diverge into two different pathways. And this can be really a time where there's like so much going on underneath the surface, but to the outside world, it doesn't necessarily look like a lot's changed. And that can be a really isolating and lonely place to be. And I think for a lot of us at this time, this is kind of the catalyst where maybe some of us who have had like tendencies to people please, or like seek approval and validation outside of ourselves, you know, from somebody else. Like that could be like a partner, or it could be a family member, like a parent. But we kind of get to this point, and it's like a catalyst to really make us sit and look, and where are we looking for approval and validation from? Are we looking for it externally? Is that the best place to get it? And what would happen if we started looking more within our own selves? And as ever, I'd love to hear your own experiences on this. This kind of more going within, you know, seeking what knowledge you have within and what you can give yourself from the inside out rather than from the outside in. But yeah, the more we kind of connect with our own inner power and our own like self-validation and self-worth, those really kind of root things that so many of our issues, like on this more towards the surface, boil down to those things like validation and self-worth and boundaries and things like that. And as we learn to connect in with ourselves and really go deeper there and find that within ourselves, suddenly it's like those energetic ties we had to other people may be like cut or changed. Relationships start shifting because you're not energetically kind of looking for that need from another person if you're starting to find it within yourself. And yeah, then things shift, you know. These like unwritten relationship kind of agreements and contracts we have with people, maybe when we get into a relationship with them, are like, it's like they're up for review, you know. Suddenly the goalposts have changed a bit, and you know, the other person hasn't necessarily got the memo either. You might not be sure of what's happening yourself. You just know there's a lot of inner changes. This opens up like a whole load of potential, doesn't it? Whether you are on two paths that kind of then diverge, or whether you realize what's happening and find a way to maybe start communicating more and maybe have to negotiate the kind of terms of the contract, so to speak. And actually that can make relationships a lot stronger as well. So this can be like a really overwhelming time. And again, that aspect of not maybe feeling kind of invisible in some ways. So if you're kind of interested in starting to make that turn within yourself and really kind of connect with yourself and go a little bit deeper, then I have made a meditation called Reclaim Your Wild Heart. And that I will pop a link to that in the description below. And that's a good starting point for just taking some time via a guided meditation to really just sort of connect in with yourself, start to quiet the mind and start to listen to that inner knowing, and start to, through a guided visualization, see what starts to come up for you, what knowing is in there just ready to be unlocked. So as ever, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below if you feel called to share. Otherwise, I'll pop another link in the description below as well about joining the Wild Rose Path community. And there's weekly emails at the moment, and it's just a nice place to kind of come together with other like-minded women, and hopefully we can share our experiences and go a little bit deeper on this journey. Otherwise, I'll see you soon for the next video.